Hey guys, this is Jeffrey Mangus with Mangus Media Group. Thank you so much for tuning in to our YouTube channel today. I'm really excited to, this is our new one of our new podcast episodes with the Book Draft Day podcast. And we're really excited about what we're going to be doing with this and delivering some real world writing, publishing, and agency content for any aspiring author out there. If you're here, we welcome you. Today, I'd like to have my business partner and my colleague and great friend, Mr. Tim Jacobs. How you doing, Tim?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I was really excited about, you and I are on camera a lot, you and I both know. We see each other a lot. But in this aspect with the Mangus Media Group and what we're doing with the agency, I thought it'd be great to have you on and explain what you do with your company that's collaborating with Mangus Media Group.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was kind of like an eye opener as time went by from when I first started, which was, I had like a one-page business plan. I approached 5 editors that, we all knew each other. We were all in the same writing group. And I said, tell me if this is a good idea or should I just not pursue this?
Yeah.
And all 5 of them were like, not only is it a good idea, we want to be the 5 editors that you're looking for.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That kind of, gave me the reinsurance and the confidence of, hey, it's worth stepping into this. And the one thing I really learned over the years was, especially, first-time authors, business owners, the CEOs who are just, beyond busy, they need 25 hours in a day.
Yeah.
Those type of people, they don't want to have to look around for all the components. They want to buy the automobile, turn the key and drive, not have to buy a transmission here, tires there, frame over here, and that's why I just started to, instead of networking my business, I started for a while to network for partnerships. And through that, I got, editors, designers, ghostwriters, writing coaches, even a publishing manager and, people who do marketing for books. And it kind of grew into now I can offer everything from conception, to completion.
Right.
And when you started to talk about doing the Magnus Media Group and you wanted all that back end, I mean, you yourself, you had a light bulb go off. You're like, wait a minute. Tim with his JWC Publishing is already doing all of this. All you need to concentrate on is the overall business and the ghostwriting aspect of it. And, like you take care of the ghostwriters and the project to get the script to a point where now it comes in here and we run through editing all the way through, like, say, like a bestseller campaign.
That's exactly right. And I mean, to me, it's all serendipitous because I'm going to take it back a little bit further. I mean, you've had your agency for quite a while, and I respect that a lot. I mean, you do great work, and we've worked on many projects together, and they've all been very successful. But going back to the Academy of Ghostwriting, which is a different, that's our business, it's our company. We co-founded the Academy of Ghostwriting. We're really proud of that. But when I was developing that curriculum in the initial first stages, I had you in my mind, and that's an honest thing. I couldn't even explain it. So when I launched it, you know the story. When I launched it, and you approached me, you're like, dude, I'd love to be a coach, in this thing. And I said, no, I don't want you to be a coach. I want you to be a partner, because that's what I had you in my mind. It was that. And then we did that, and we're doing that very successfully. And it's been a wonderful venture, and we got a whole lot to go, and it's exciting, But talking about this with Mangus Media Group, it was all, I had this vision in my head, and that for a while. But then when we had that one phone call, that one Zoom call with one of your publicists and press individuals, because I was going to try to do publishing. I've done publishing with many authors, and I've done it successfully, but not like you, right? Not like what you do at that level. And also that publishing side that I being honest, I don't really want to be a part of it. It's not my forte. writing,
Yep.
being a ghostwriter, being a writer is my forte. And I'm like, it hit me on that call. I'm like, why in the hell am I trying to repeat exactly what Tim's already been doing for I don't know how many years he's been doing it, but it's like, why am I doing that?
Since 2012.
Yeah, 2012. So why am I trying to reinvent the wheel when the wheel's already there and it's already on the car and it's going down the highway? It was like no brainer for me.
Yeah.
And
And
that's why
and it's always, in any business, it's, business, and even in sports, it's, to put the players where they're going to perform the best. And there's many stories, and I think one of them, just talking football, is, back in our time. I mean, you and I are the same age, so going way back when the Giants were Phil Simms and Lawrence Taylor.
oh
I think
yeah,
Lawrence Taylor was originally a blocker, but then they found out this guy would be better on defense. So they
mm-hmm.
moved him over there, and that's what made him a household name, during what was that, probably during the 80s. He was, when the Giants were pretty much shining back then. But it's just like you and I always say, like, in comparison, when we talk to people, if you're having problems with your car and it's the transmission, do you take it to Joe's garage shop, or are you going to take it to the transmission shop where that's all they do?
That's right.
That's where you're going to take it. So it's the same thing with doing a book, take it to an editor who knows that content, take it to a ghostwriter who has that background. And that's where, like, you and I, in our respective groups, the Magnus Media Group,
Yeah,
JWC Publishing, we have those key components, which
right.
are the ghostwriters, the editors, the designers. So we know whom to bring in to make the roster so that, that client gets a home run out of their book.
That's exactly right. And I'm glad you brought that point up, because with Mangus Media Group, and I've talked about it in many posts, and it's on our website, of course, every member, every ghostwriter, every writer, every person under the agency has been hand chosen. And that's for a reason. Not only their skill set, but their personality, their reputation, who they are in the industry. Plus, we want to work with people that we want to work with. It's really simple. And what I love the most about what we're doing, with JWC and Susie's company finished the book, and Dee Wilson and her company with Biop. What I find humbling, and this is sincere, is how you guys believe in me and I believe in you, and we all come together with this one belief that we're not going to try, we're going to produce exemplary books, the best we can possibly be, with that all of us are under that one mindset. And that's rare. That's a rare thing. And I'm really humbled by it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel it was funny. I was on a podcast probably, I'd say maybe less than a year ago or so. And, the question came up about competition.
Yeah.
And I said, it's really like there is no competition. It's like all these agencies, all of these, hybrid publishers, we're all in this together. I mean, we share editors, we share writers, we pass referrals back and forth.
Right.
Where, a long time ago, it would have been like, if I have a potential client for JWC, I'm going to do everything I can to make that work, but I'm not going to tell that person about Magnus Media Group or finishthebook.com or anyone else. Why would I? I want to do everything I can to get this client.
That's
but
right.
Things have changed, because now obviously it's in my better interest to be like, hey, look, the type of project you want is beyond my scope. Let me introduce you to so-and-so. This is what they do. They can handle that.
That's correct.
And,
right.
That's just a lot better than, oh, sorry, I can't help you.
Right. And the thing about the agency MMG is that we don't have 1,000 ghostwriters. We don't even have 50. We have we have about right now around 18 elite ghostwriters, each one with a very specific skill set, all different, from memoir to, of course, business, thought leadership. Everyone has their specialties. And that's what I love the most, is that when clients do come to the agency, we can match the best person with that author, that best to our ability, with personality and everything. Of course, we know things can go south, but at the end of the day, the agency chooses with the writer and puts them together with the author, but also the author knows who they're working with, the team. They're working with you. They're working with Susie. They're working with Dee. And you get to meet these people right at the onset. And that's a really, really great thing to know who's going to be working on your book. Because, like you said, the authors we work for, they don't have they need 26 hours in the day, and they don't have time.
Yeah.
And they're busy. So we don't want to add any more stress to them. And that's what we do, is we alleviate that stress and do what we do best. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because I know we often compare things to the automobile industry, especially the repair part, where with the doing the hybrid publishing and like that author's meeting the whole team, they're meeting the ghostwriter, the editor, the designer, the project manager, they're meeting all these key players up front. But when you take your car to the shop, you only deal with the person at the register. You don't meet the people in accounting, the people in sales, the actual mechanic who was turning the wrenches and the screwdrivers to fix your car, or the part delivery guy. I mean, it's kind of funny. You don't meet any of them, but in our industry though, you're meeting every key player that you should meet.
That's exactly right. And I think that's a key integral aspect to keeping these, because projects, as we know throughout the years, projects can go south. And I feel very strongly that when an author is introduced to him or to their team, and when they see them face to face and they understand the expectations of what's going to happen at every stage, which is what we do, we outline every stage to the author at the onset. And when that happens, I believe projects stay they stay afloat. They stay on track, and there's accountability. There's a lot of people in play, and the process is very, very smooth. And I love that about the agency. Exactly.
Yeah. And I also like too that, having the other people, a lot of times you can get ahead of a project that's starting to skid a little sideways or something, because everybody's besides bringing like let's say their talent to the project, they're also bringing their knowledge and experience.
That's
right. So they could be like, hey, I know you want to go here, but if we do that, this is what's happened in the past. We should veer off this way, or get the author looking at this instead or something. Or, you could prevent a lot of things, and just having that whole team to support you. It's the same thing like in baseball. When someone bunts the ball and they're shooting down to first, where's the pitcher go? He runs to cover home plate because the catcher ran up out into the little bit of the midfield there. So
he covers there. Someone's back. Yes. Exactly. That's a great analogy. Yeah. And that's what it's all about, is that teamwork. And that's what we deliver. And that's at the heart of it. That's at the heart of the matter, is that teamwork, which is, again, going back to what I said, I'm humbled by how everyone shares that same vision, because it's writing books is what we all love to do, and seeing great books go out there. And that's a beautiful thing in my eyes. So, but today it's been great talking about, but there's something I want to talk about, Tim, kind of veering away, but thank you for explaining what you do. JWC Publishing, you do fantastic work. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I give credit where credit's due. So, but there's something I really want to talk about today in this episode, and it's going to be, this is, I don't even know how to title this one, but I really want to talk about artificial intelligence, and you and I have our deep opinions about this. So, I will say that, I wrote an article today, and I hung it out there. Okay. I really brought out some feelings about how I feel about AI, and I'd love to talk about it today. If you're an aspiring author, you're listening to our show today, we want you to understand that, artificial intelligence is here to stay. But we believe, and I believe, that there is a happy medium there that needs to be balanced with AI in our profession as ghostwriters. What do you think, Tim?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what it is right now is, there's no manual on how to use AI. I mean, you buy a printer, it comes with a little pamphlet of how to set it up, how to use it. You buy a car, it comes with an owner's manual.
True.
You buy anything, there's pretty much some type of directions. And there's no directions with AI. Like, to use your words, it's the wild, wild west. and it's
Absolutely.
probably going to be that way for a while. But it's a matter of people learning that, yes, AI could be used for certain things in the writing publishing industry, but it's nowhere can it ever just be, here's some prompts, write me a 30,000 page or 30,000 word book.
Right.
It's, and there's so many, there's too many things to list of why that's not right. But for the most part, it's that author's experience, their theories, their knowledge, their beliefs, values, whatever. AI is not going to produce that. That can only come from you.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, this is a true story. Just a couple of days ago, a friend of mine, he's an amputee. His name's Tom. He actually had contacted me about helping him with his book, but in all honesty, he didn't really have the funds and finances to really do that. And I understood that, and I told him that I do what I could to work with him, and but unfortunately, and he came to me, and he told me that he goes, man, I got with this company, they ripped me off. It was all just junk, and he was describing it. It was just flat out plagiarized AI content, nothing. It was just terrible. And he said he tried to contact them, and he can't get a hold of them now. They've ghosted. So
Yeah.
he lost $2,000, and honestly, I would have helped him. I mean, I wouldn't have taken 2,000, but I certainly would have helped him, and he certainly could have saved that and had something that's. And I felt sorry for him. He wants me to help him, and I will help him. I just don't know how at this point. I can't get his $2,000,
Yeah.
and I hate that.
Well, it's like you said, all over the internet, there's, we could do your book in an hour for $97 and those kind of things. And that's all
Yeah.
they're doing is they're probably asking you 2, 3 questions in an email. You're answering those, and then they're throwing that into some AI software. Here's your book. And it's just, people don't even realize. I mean, yes, you could use AI maybe to write about certain content, but then you need some heavy editing to go through those things.
Absolutely, and I think what I wrote most about today in my article is it, and I think you and I talked about before we went on the show today, was Gotham Ghostwriters put out a survey about AI and ghostwriting, and it's an industry wide survey. I took the survey, answered all the questions, but it hit me, because it was a lot about the business side of AI and writing. There was a lot about tools, different things. But what hit me was what about the emotional side of it? And what I mean by that is, just like you said, there's these companies. It's a wild, wild west, as I like. That's the phrase I like to use. You got all these unscrupulous companies, right, using AI for gain, but not producing anything. So that devalues what we do. And I think that's where the emotional side comes in for me, because it's like when I was in real estate years ago, people used to devalue realtors because of, the internet was coming up so fast. People could get on the internet and go to realtor.com and know more about a house than a realtor did. Right.
Yep.
So there was that devaluation of the industry and of the profession. Oh, you're just a realtor. You're not really valued. Right. And I feel like, as a writer, the love of my craft and the spirit of what I do, I feel is being challenged, because, and I think it's hurting. I think clients, potential authors out there, they get confused. Just like my buddy Tom, he got confused and he got sucked into, hey, I can get a book written for whatever. I don't know how much the thing was, but he got sucked into it. But when they're trying to deal with real writers like you and I and and writers on our team, we want them to see the value of what we bring to the table. And I think
Yeah.
there's the gray area between the emotional side of AI and finding that balance between good usage and being able to capture that human spirit and emotion that's necessary.
And a podcast I listened to, they had a real interesting take on AI, because they said the more that people are using AI and putting those, let's just say, those results out there. So that's how they create their posts, their blogs, a lot of their content, articles. and they're putting all this AI generated material out there. Well, what happens 5 years down the road with AI? When you go and put in information that you want AI to go grab, AI is going to pull all this AI already generated information, and it's just like you're regurgitating everything over and over and over because all that original human
Yeah,
writing is so far buried down now. The AI probably won't even, look for it or pull it up. It's going to go within parameters of a certain time frame, and it's going to pull out stuff. So like if you put in, 3 reasons why you should hire a ghostwriter, and AI spits out all this information. So you might tweak it a little bit and put it out there. Well, if a month later I'm like 3 reasons why you should hire a ghostwriter, it's going
yeah.
to pull probably what you already had it create.
Absolutely. It's almost like a black hole. Eventually, everything's just going to
Yeah.
suck down into it, because it's just
Yeah.
going to keep pulling. And also, I think about this too a lot. I mean, if you're an author here and you're listening to our show, if you're an aspiring author, whoever, wherever you are, think about this. Do you really, really, truly want to leave your mark on the world with your writing done by an algorithm, by a data set that was input by somebody else, that was taken from do you really want that? I mean, I wouldn't want my life and everything I've lived to be just churned out by some computer. And it's like you said, it's out there, but it lies flat. It's like it's just there. It's the same old. It's the same thing being pulled from the same source, and it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I mean, like every single day, you and I both know there's AI tools. We got Pro Writing A, Grammarly, Pseudo Write. I mean, I can go on down. There's a list. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a huge list. And we even on our phones. I mean, driving down the highway, using it for a GPS to navigate to our trips, to our playlists, even our music. It's all
Yeah.
artificial intelligence, right? And then, but when it comes to writing, writing's personal. And even if you are an author hiring a ghostwriter to write your book, it's still your story. It's still your story. It's still you. And the writer, ghostwriters, and the way I see it, we're just vessels. We're vessels of your story, putting it onto the page. We're the ones that we're the middleman, bringing your life experiences to the page and making it engaging and making it real. And again, that involves emotion. That involves
Yep.
real emotions, hurts, pain, sadness, gladness, whatever that is. That's what we are here to do. And AI can never do that. And
Yeah.
that's why I don't ever worry about it taking my job. Never. Yeah, I've noticed that too. Yeah, my wife and I we have coffee every morning, and every conversation, and it seemed like those conversations, I can go to my phone, and my phone can be upstairs in three, 2 floors up, and it still finds a way somehow that stuff
Yep.
we just talked about lands up in there. So it's listening. It's listening
Yeah.
pretty good. Makes you a little unnerved, but
Yeah.
like we got to be careful what we're saying. But going back to this, and we'll wrap it up. Your team, JWC, they're real writers, and we are real writers. And when I say that real, we don't rely on artificial intelligence to write our narratives, write our prose, write our content. And with Mangus Media Group, all of our team are fully on board on AI is a tool. We use it as tools, and certainly we can't pretend, we're not pretending we don't use it. I use it for research, verified research. I have to, you have to verify because everything's not reliable, but it's still a great, research tool. It's a great way to organize some things. It's a great way to even brainstorm on titles and different things. It's a great way to do that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's a real human putting hands to a keyboard and putting words on a page for our authors. It is that simple.
Yeah.
There is no AI in our agency. Yeah. That's true. Getting feedback, exactly right. And with that said, AI has some positive things. People use artificial intelligence as apps to even meditate, to heal themselves, spiritual stuff, which is a great thing. It's all these are all tools. It's never going away. But when it comes to writing and human writing, artificial intelligence cannot. It only mimics. It only mimics. It doesn't. It lacks the human emotion that brings those words, makes them engaging. I mean, AI can get close, maybe sometimes it may be even scary close, but when you're a writer and you're really bringing it to the page, you can see the difference. Readers know the difference, I believe, and what's real and what's not. And I think that's what one of the fears I have is, like, will AI get to the point where readers can't differentiate real human writing from that? And that's just something I brought up in my article today. As a fear, it is something to consider. That we got to do that. But so how do we separate ourselves from that? So that, that's a great point. The people that are these are data set specialists, data scientists they call them. They're they're learning as they go too. So you're right. They're shaping these algorithms to be pretty sharp. You're right, and you're right. The more people talk about certain thing, that goes away, that disappears. That's a great point. Never thought about that. Good one, man. But I really appreciate meeting with you today, Tim. It's been fun talking. We can talk about AI for hours, man. I mean, really, we really can. And maybe I'll use the AI from the notes from this meeting. So no, it's been great. But thank you again for being on the show. The Book Draft Day podcast. I'm really excited about it. If you're here and listening to our show for the first time, please subscribe below. There's information on how to find us at mangusmediagroup.com. And if you have a question or a concept or an idea on your book, feel free to bring it to us. We'd love to at least talk to you about it. No pressure. And you can email us at mangusmediagroupinfo@gmail.com. Thanks so much, guys. Tim, it was great seeing you. Thanks so much.